I'm gonna sound like a really old boomer for saying this, and honestly, it's come full circle, but kids deserve to be banned from the internet. And let me explain. I think when I was growing up, when I was a kid, I was on the internet way too young. And for anyone else who grew up on the internet between the time of, let's say like 2008 all the way to maybe 2016, if you were a kid during that time, you definitely saw so many fucked up things. And even still today, you can still find these things. And I'm talking about shit like jump scares that your friends would send you on a Skype call, or beheading videos, like shit you really didn't need to see as a kid. And there's a whole list of the whatnots and things, like you maybe should have been on there for or not. I just think the access to that much communication with random people that you have no idea who they are is honestly really, really deteriorating. And I mean, I have several different stories of this, and I'm glad I came out the person that I am. I'm a good person, I think, and there are tons of bad people. And my first experience of this was when I was a little kid. This was back in 2012, so I was around 12 or 13 at the time. I had access to a computer. I had my own computer, actually. It was like a Windows Vista Dell PC, just like a regular computer tower. And the crazy thing is I learned how to edit videos, use Photoshop, record videos, eventually learn how to stream. And honestly, the only video game I think I ever played on that PC was like some polar bear bowling game and Minecraft. And so at the time, I had some friends, of course, that I made through YouTube. And the funny thing is we all met each other through YouTube. YouTube at the time, I think, was pretty brand new. This was when like the biggest faces in the game were Fred and maybe Markiplier, PewDiePie, stuff like that. And so I was really inspired. And I don't think I understood as a kid how horrible it is to put your voice, to put yourself out there on the internet. You honestly just shouldn't. Genuinely, I do believe you should be doing literally anything else. And I think it's a great experiment maybe to see how that affected people, growing up on the internet. I think it's done a lot more harm to people than good. And like I said, I'm very thankful I came out the person I am because, I truly believe I'm a really good-hearted person. But when I was growing up, I had this group of friends I made on YouTube. They found me through uploading Pokemon content, ironically. I made Pokemon solo videos or solo run videos where you would just use one Pokemon and beat the entire game with. And the first friend I ever made on there was super cool. And I'm going to keep everyone's name anonymous. I'm just going to explain into detail on who they were or, what kind of person they were and stuff. So this first person is in the comment section and it's like, yo, what's up, dude? Like, you should message me and add me on Skype. So I message him. We add each other on Skype. Never used Skype before. And I get on and then we hang out for a few days, maybe a week. And then he invites me to almost like a group server, which I guess would be Discord now. And I met a bunch of people through this guy. This guy was the same age as me, thankfully, okay, just to be clear. And everyone else was around the same age as well. Some of the kids in there were like maybe 2 or 3 years older than me at the time. So some were like 14, 15, 13, stuff like that. And then there was one guy in there who I at first was like, surely this guy is like an older brother. And he seemed fine at first, right? Like he played video games, he hung out in call and just liked Pokemon, but it never occurred to me that it was wrong that he was hanging out with a bunch of kids, because I think that is just inherently wrong. He didn't do anything weird, Okay, I'm telling you this from experience. I've, I always cleared through my friends to make sure, like, is he a fucking weirdo? Like, no, he's not. But what he would do that I didn't realize, that honestly never did anything to me, at least, he definitely would be high as fuck. He was smoking. I don't know what exactly he was on, but he definitely did drugs. And I think that was like my very first direct exposure to someone who was in a call or who I was even around who did this stuff. And yet it didn't affect me negatively. I never was like told to go out and do it. He never was like, yo, do you want to try it? Like, it was never any of that. It was straight up just Pokemon video games. Like, his favorite game at the time was Banjo-Kazooie, or he would play a lot of older games, maybe on the PlayStation stuff. Like I said, this was like a friend of mine who made a friend who's in call with us. And thankfully, like, I'm still till this day, as old as I am now, knowing the situation that I was in as a kid, I am so fucking thankful every single day this guy was not a weirdo. He did not entice anyone to do anything weird. He did not influence anyone to do anything bad. I think that reflecting on it now, I'm sure he was going through a lot. I do understand. I think, he lived with some family he was probably helping to take care of, or I don't know. Like, we all didn't really talk about our personal life like that. It was just video games and let's hang out and play games together. And we were friends from pretty much, I would say, like the emulator era at the first time it became a thing, all the way up to like the 3DS era. And then some of us split off, some of us stayed friends through Discord, and yeah, I mean, some of them, I have no idea where they're at, what they're doing. And honestly, once again, like, just reflecting on this, I've heard some of the craziest stories anonymously from Reddit or people online, and it just scares the fuck out of me. Like, me and my fiance don't ever plan on having kids, but, some of our family members do, and it scares me every single day to think about a kid with access to internet, of all the bad shit they could be exposed to, and how I feel like I'm the 1%, maybe the 0.01% who was exposed to some things, but not enough to, I don't know, like, alter the course of my life negatively. It was actually super positive. Like, it was a social outlet for me. Maybe this is a whole nother video I can talk about, but I was heavily bullied as a kid, and especially in high school. So YouTube, having friends online, was a huge outlet. And I think that's why it was positive for me, because I knew who to be around. I knew who I wanted to be around. And if I was around these shitty people at school who probably had bad things going on around them or at home, and most likely were taking it out on me, I got to go home and actually use my computer as a positive outlet to create videos, be creative, but I got bullied for it, which sucks. But I think in turn, like I said, it did something positive for me. I got to meet new people all the time. It actually helped me become social. It helped me improve my speech impediment that I had as a kid. Sometimes I feel like it comes out here and there. I like stutter on it, or sometimes I'll pronounce things a little bit weird, or I won't maybe use the right, like, what's the word, dialect or something? I don't even fucking know what the word is, but sometimes I can't get the right word out, and I just have to be like, the fucking word. And honestly, I don't know. I guess, like, this is just a direct reflection of my childhood, of, like, I got to become exposed to anime when it was unpopular, and the older I've gotten now, it's so fucking cool. And I'm so jealous of kids these days. They get to grow up in the coolest environment of, like, cool technology, any game in the world they want. All the games when I was a kid was super expensive, and still expensive now, but, they have access to any fucking Wii console they want. When I was a kid, what was super sought after? A Wii, or any Nintendo console. I was a huge Nintendo head, if you couldn't tell, but just super jealous, But also at the other hand of it, being exposed to the dangers of the internet, I really do hope kids are somehow banned from it. I don't think they'll ever be completely banned. I just hope that whoever is in the hands of these kids, parents, parental guardian, family members, try to limit the exposure that kids have to the internet, because honestly, they deserve to keep their innocence as long as possible. And I just think that there is so much doom and gloom and so much visibility of really negative shit that kids just don't need to see. And I hope that, there's some type of protection out there for, kids to be protected from. But at the same time, I know there's a lot of negatives that come with this. If there are, let's say, laws put into place, I think there's laws in it's either Australia or Europe where they require people to sign in with an ID, which I think is a direct violation of privacy. But at the same time, it's how do you stop kids from getting on the internet? Because even as an adult, even as your guardian, you cannot stop someone from doing something, no matter what. You can try to influence them and protect them from, being exposed to this thing as long as possible, but it's not going to be forever. And it's kind of scary sometimes. There's just so much evil out there. But at the same time, you cannot let that directly influence you and, sort of be like a helicopter parent around your kid or around your family member. Because as unfortunate as it is sometimes, I think being aware of the dangers of that stuff is also, it does a little bit of good, it helps them know what not to look for or what to be aware of. Because like it or not, they do talk about this stuff at school about, hey, stranger danger, be careful who you talk to, people you're around, stuff like that. Make sure you have good influences around you. And yeah, the internet is genuinely a scary place, but it's also cool as fuck. Not to be doom and gloom, but seriously, once again, it's done a lot of positive good for me, and I know plenty of other people too. It's probably helped them have some type of positive outlook on life, or maybe they met the right people. And yeah, man, but I genuinely hope that somehow the world steers everybody into a good place, and it's all you can hope for. But looking back on it, like I said, I just think it's so fucking crazy as an adult now to look back and be like, yeah, dude, I had a huge group of friends who were all around the same age, except for that one guy. Dude, if I was around telling my parents that shit, they would have fucking ripped that PC out as fast as possible. And I don't blame them. But anyway, let me know what your experience was on the internet. And I hope it was a positive one. I hope it's given you a decent outlook, maybe to know that there is some good in the world. It doesn't have to be so scary. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me know if you were also around for the Skype era or if you were a Discord kid. Stay happy, stay healthy. Love you guys. See you tomorrow. Peace.